Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. I've done a few videos on this now. This is the UK government's massive censorious overreach with respect to just overreach, basically. Invasion of privacy, everything. This is the latest update. I mean, you read it in the title, so it's not, we're just going to cut straight to the chase and, I'll get back to the preamble. But the UK is now backing down in the Apple privacy row. So for those that don't know, what was happening was the UK basically launched some legalities to say everyone needs to allow backdoor access. No one can have privacy effectively. That it's a super generalization. There's more to it than that. And Apple was like, initially they said sure, and then they said no. Actually, no. There was an element of them removing their ultra encryption and all that kind of stuff as well. It's basically all the encryption element, which is it was really dumb anyway, because it also just puts anyone in the UK at risk of being hacked, right? And that includes politicians and anyone traveling to the UK. It was so incredibly stupid. The whole thing is stupid. No one thinks any of this stuff through because we're led by absolute rank imbeciles. That's it. They're just imbeciles. Right? The front bench of the UK government currently, and this could be said for, multiple governments over the last 2 decades, they have an accumulative IQ of probably double digits. They're absolute imbeciles. No one thinks any of this stuff through. No one has any element or grasp of common sense. It's just power grabs. So the latest has been this. And it is pretty major. I think this is a pretty major turn of events. So we'll take a look. Please do, though. I've got to say it. Sorry. But please do hit subscribe. If you're here and you like this type of coverage, hit subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But anyway, so this is on the BBC. Loads of people are reporting this. I don't really like the BBC, but it's not a bad article, to be honest. So what happened was the US Director of National Intelligence says that the UK has now withdrawn its controversial demand to access global Apple users' data if required. I mean, what were you doing? You clown. UK government. Absolute clown show. Absolute clown show. So ridiculous. So Tulsi Gabbard said on X that the UK had agreed to drop its instruction for the tech giant to provide a backdoor which would have enabled access to the protected encrypted data of American citizens and encroached on our civil liberties. And you can see that here. This is the aforementioned tweet, as you can see. And it's blown up, and rightfully so. 1.9 million. It's been good, right? Over the past few months, I've been working closely with our partners in the UK alongside POTUS and VP to ensure Americans' private data remains private and our constitutional rights and civil liberties are protected. I mean, good for you. However, if you're working with them, maybe you could also have, force them to be a little less censorious and invasive to the UK as well, seeing as we are effectively a vassal state. Maybe you could have put some pressure on the UK government. That would have been great, but never mind. Never mind. Good for you guys. And this is so comical as well because the BBC understands Apple has not yet received any formal communication from either the US or UK governments. They're not even able to talk about the fact that this backdoor exists. This is what's been so comical about this. This has all been going on, and then Yvette Cooper's like, oh, we can't comment on this. It's like, but we know it's happening. Yvette Cooper's the one which was sort of behind this. Ministry of Justice, if I remember rightly, Minister for Justice. All sort of police activities, crime, blah, blah, blah. And so no one's been able to say that this has happened, but then Tulsi Gabbard's like, well, yeah, it's going on, obviously, and we don't want it to happen, so we've stopped it. Such a fucking clown show. We do not comment on operational matters, including confirming or denying the existence of such notice. You look like idiots. A UK government spokesperson said, you look like idiots. We all knew it was happening. You not commenting on it denying it or whatever, it doesn't change it. You look like absolute idiots. We have long had joint security and intelligence arrangements with the US to tackle the most serious threats such as terrorism and child sexual abuse, including the role played by fast-moving technology in enabling those threats. In December, the UK issued Apple with a formal notice demanding the right to access encrypted data from its users worldwide. What jurisdiction did you think you had? You clowns. However, Apple itself cannot view the data of customers who have activated its toughest security tool, Advanced Data Protection, which prevents anyone other than the user from reading their files. In order to do so, it would have had to have broken its own encryption methods. We have never built a backdoor or master key to any of our products or services, and we never will, it said. Instead, Apple responded by withdrawing the whole thing from the UK market, and then just decided to start a legal process to challenge the order, and that was going to be heard early next year. So funny. And now, obviously, it's not clear whether that's going to go ahead or not. I mean, they should. So because of the secrecy surrounding the government order issued under the Investigatory Powers Act, it's not known whether other tech companies have also received a demand. They obviously have. Obviously. So the notice, which neither Apple nor the Home Office have ever confirmed, enraged privacy campaigners who are now cautiously optimistic about the news. If true, this decision is hugely welcome. Yeah, I mean, they'll find other ways, because we're led by commie dictator douche canoes. He told the BBC the creation of the backdoor to citizens' private data would be a reckless and potentially unlawful move from the government. This would present a huge threat to our personal and national security, especially as we know it'd leave politicians, campaigners, and minority groups especially at risk of being targeted. I don't care about minority groups, shut up. And I don't care about politicians or campaigners either, but yes, they would be targeted, and by proxy, so would English citizens. So as long as this power exists within the Investigatory Powers Act, it remains a risk that any future government might also try to use it to create a backdoor into other end-to-end encrypted services we all use. So funny. So funny. I mean, good. They've dropped it. That's great, right? Good on them. Still absolute nonsense. It shouldn't ever... This shouldn't have existed. This shouldn't have been a thing. But again, you know, I do hope that at some point Trump and anyone, it could be anyone, I don't care who does it, but someone looks at what's happening in the UK from the US in power and says, yeah, this is really bad, you need to stop. And puts pressure on Keir Starmer to stop. Because it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Speech has been eroded. Privacy's eroded. Yeah, it's like some clown world stuff. Anyway, there you go. There's the update. What do you think?